Cool. Welcome. Like I said, it's Monday. Um, I had a very exciting weekend. I was down in San Diego. My son is on a rowing team here in Marin, and they won the regionals. So there's all these teams from Washington and Arizona and certainly California and elsewhere. So super exciting. And I noticed some interesting things about my mind that I'm sure you'll all be able to relate to. And that is, it was really nerve-wracking for me watching him. I mean, it's a big competition. These are, lots of other teams that obviously train just as hard as these guys do, and everyone wants to win. And it's a little bit windy and it's hard, for these 16-year-old kids. It's a lot of pressure. And so I noticed my mind, going to these sort of places of catastrophizing and, worrying that not just that they wouldn't, do well, but that something would happen. Like there's this thing in rowing where if you catch the oar in the water wrong, it's called catching a crab. And it can be really painful and it can certainly ruin the race because the oar gets stuck, and it happened to him once the prior week. And so my mind was just spinning in all of these directions. I was like, oh, please don't let that happen. And anyway, just, dad stuff. And then I remembered this awesome saying, like, you can't manage what you can't measure. Meaning, in that moment, initially, I was just caught up in all of these anxious thoughts. And then my practice kicked in, and I quickly noticed, like, oh, Ollie, there you are. Like, it's a beautiful sunny day in San Diego. You're here to watch your son in this exciting experience. And just becoming aware of the fact that my mind was spinning all of this stuff. And I was like, there it is. It's a perfect opportunity to bring your mindfulness practice to bear. And there were two aspects that I thought would be fun to practice today. The first one is humility. So I was just overwhelmed by this sense of humility that there was so much going on that little Ollie had no control over, right? My thoughts, the weather conditions, how my son was going to do, how the team was going to do, and how the other, like, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm literally just an observer. And there's this overwhelming sense of just actually a very comforting sense of just being humble and just dropping in to just be present, be here right now, bear witness to all of this, including my mental chatter. And yeah, very, very humbling and in an odd way, kind of soothing. And then the other piece was creativity. Once I noticed that I had no control over any of these things that were happening inside and outside, I was actually empowered to approach what was going on for myself with some creativity and asking myself and saying, so, okay, so what do you want to do here? You want to fixate on all these anxious thoughts? You want to get upset at the wind and tell the wind that it should die down? Or do you just want to bring your mindfulness practice to bear? And in my case, it was really just be here now, like fully absorb this awesome experience and don't miss it. Don't get wrapped up in time travel, but really be present for it. And yeah, anyway, so I thought those would be two aspects for us to explore because I'm sure you guys can relate to, the experience that I was having. Maybe the names of the people in the situation obviously change, but the idea is the same. So I thought let's start with bringing one of those moments to mind and see if we can drop into it. And then let's explore these two components of humility and creativity and see what comes up. So start by closing your eyes, dropping into the intention to just get curious and stay present for just a few minutes this morning. Our busy afternoon awaits us. It'll all still be there. Just giving ourselves just some space to help our nervous system become a little better at some skills that will really help with our general positivity in life. There's breathing into this intention, or rather with this intention. Noticing sounds, maybe the sound of breath coming and leaving the body. These breaths are happening now. And using our mind's ability to time travel, let's go back into the past and see if you can find a memory of a situation. Could be as, you know, could be from this morning or it could be from years ago, but a situation in which you felt a little bit out of control, a little bit fearful, something where you notice the mind speeding up, wanting to control things or wanting things to be different. Don't overthink this memory. Just pick something. It doesn't have to be something huge. See if you can drop into that memory again. Like notice, where were you? What was the body experiencing in that moment? What were you doing? Who were you with? Were you alone? And starting with sensations in the body. So noticing, what was the body experiencing in this slightly stressful situation, and where were you experiencing this? Noticing the belly and the chest, hands, jaw, and then just asking yourself, what's the body reacting to? What are the beliefs, thoughts about that situation that the body was reacting to, with anxiety or contraction or fear? What's the mind saying is going to happen? Notice how both of those things, the body's reaction and the mind thinking and spinning stories around it, notice how that's just happening. It's not premeditated. It's not that you're sitting down and saying, great, now I'm going to feel this way in the body or this way in the mind. See if you can drop into a just noticing the automaticity of those experiences and connecting with some degree of humility around, yeah, I'm not driving this bus in this moment. At best, I'm just able to bear witness to what's happening in the body and what the mind is telling me about the situation. And touching into that truth that it's all just happening. It can feel a little bit scary, a little bit unnerving. I'm inviting you to really focus on the humility part of that. They are simply experiencers in these life events, these life circumstances. And the second part to this practice is creativity. So asking yourself, because I know that I'm not creating these situations or that I'm not in control. What is there that I want to do with this information or this experience? Given what I've got, what can I do with it? Get curious, get creative. While it's true that we are not in control of what happens to us, we do have some say in how we respond to this creatively and make choices about what we want to do with what's happening to us. All of this, of course, rests, lies on this bed of mindfulness, meaning the assumption is that we're aware that things are happening that we don't have control over. We're aware that we're able to meet those experiences with some creativity and courage. And that's the mindfulness part. When we know that something's like this is happening in the moment, we actually get to participate in it in a way that's maybe helpful to us. Then go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. Letting go of that memory, coming back to the present moment, noticing the out breath, and then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another deep inhalation through the nose. Long, slow, controlled out breath. Relaxing the shoulders, the belly, jaw, neck. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. One back to the second. Hope that was a useful, useful sort of personal anecdote turned into something that that is actionable for the rest of your day. So, see you tomorrow, everyone. Thanks for joining.